So our day 2 impressions. Okay, today we got a lot done actually. We started off by going back to the South Hall of Tech East, which is where we were on the first day. We didn't get to finish the entire place, so we walked around and just saw a few things. Afterward, we quickly found our way to the Central Hall. There are 3 different halls, to keep that in mind. 3 different halls in Tech East alone. Yeah, that's cool. There's South Hall, Central Hall, and North Hall. Okay, to keep in mind, Central Hall took up our entire time there. So that's just to showcase how much is actually there. But today we actually saw a lot of exciting stuff and a lot of different things. And so today we're going to really get into it, what we discussed and things like that. So just to check out the pamphlets and things that we saw. What's this poster from? Do you remember?
Oh, it's from this.
Oh, okay. I mean, this was...
I checked that out because my dad likes fishing.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
And so what happened is that there was this camera, not a camera, well, I guess you can call it a camera. It was like a binocular, but digital.
And it was infrared.
And it was infrared. So you can literally use it and to look in the water to see the fish swim. And you can look at, and you turn around and see everybody that's at CES, and you can see them all thermal.
Yeah, that was
cool.
Pretty cool actually. It was actually pretty helpful because for a lot of times fishermen would you're sitting there on the water for hours. You're hoping something bites, and that way you can actually see where things are and if you're close, and when to be I guess subtle and things like that. So that was a cool thing that we saw. That was there, and your dad's really into fishing, so I'm sure he'd find that.
I'm thinking about getting this though. Getting it in red.
Oh, that thing.
Look at it.
We stopped at this stand because of Jake. He wanted to see the keyboards and the mice. So we talked about this. Your buddies over at Newman who make these amazing mice. No, but seriously,
the only reason why I was looking at this stuff, other than the mice. I mean, I'm not planning to change anytime soon.
Okay.
But it's because the mouse looked cool.
So interesting design.
Yeah, I was really interested in their designs.
Yeah.
And also, the keyboard. I was looking for keys that were just like Corsairs. Mm-hmm. Where if you look right here, see how it is black keys with the little light up letters? Well, for me, I was trying to look for keys the same way kind of, but were white keys. Because I wanted to change my keys to white.
Okay.
Not keep them
the actual
black.
keys, not the LEDs.
Yeah. The LED, well, yeah, if you look, I think I saw somebody on video, he has his whole white setup in his room, and he has the keys changed to white, and it looks really nice with his whole setup. And the white, and believe it or not, the white keys make the lights illuminate more.
Okay. We actually, I did test out the keyboards there, and they were very clicky.
They were
very high quality
good.
too. Yeah, they were high quality.
They were not bad at all.
The guy said in a few months they're going to be available at Best Buy stores.
The only thing I did not like is that there were blue keys.
Oh, okay.
Blue switches.
Switches. Okay.
But because if I'm correct, Cherry
MX Red is the best. I think, or the most clicking sound. I think.
It's not about click. It's about how sensitive they are.
Sensitive. Okay. Because the Corsair keyboard that I got when I built my new computer, that's a K170 Cherry MX Red, new 2016 version, and it's great. I actually love it. But the guy said it's going to be available at Best Buy in a few months, so you'll be able to buy it. Be on the lookout for Newman.
I may buy it for the keys.
And they're actually pretty high quality there and pretty good, and a few people came and checked it out as well. The cables actually were threaded cables.
Yeah, they're...
So
the only thing about threaded, though, I don't know how it is for
USB?
For headsets.
Oh.
I mean, I know what it is for headsets, but I don't know about mouses and keyboard, because I know with headsets, if you're listening to music, what happens with threaded ones, they curl. They start coiling up.
Yeah, but you're moving with headphones on, or those are different.
No, I mean it's not because they're moving. It's over time they curl. They start coiling up.
I never had that issue. The Corsair keyboards that we have, mine's fine. But that is, I guess that's.
I have 2 Logitech headsets.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 Logitech headsets. One's wireless, one's not. my wireless one I replaced with the wired. The wired one I replaced with the wireless.
Okay.
And the then I replaced the wireless one with the Corsair one to match everything with Corsair.
Which is kind of what I did.
But anyways, let me see if I can get this right. So that's what it'll do. Over time, is it'll coil
Really
up like
coils
that.
like
The whole wire, the whole wire. I have this huge ass wire for the Logitech one, and it happened with Joseph's Turtle Beaches. He had the same
really?
thing threaded.
Do you?
And they coiled up like that, like crazy. And what Joe and I used to do, because we're in a 2-story building, we hold the what's it called? We hold it from one side from the auxiliary port, and we let the headset fall down and twist.
Okay.
It's the best way, or you can do it the other way, but it takes longer. We just do it the other way because the heavy set's on there, and it'll twist faster.
So wait, okay, the Corsair keyboards and mouse that you have, do you have any issues with the cable regarding it twisting up? Mine's still relatively new, so I do have it's not perfectly straight or aligned. It's still
There's
kind
a lot
of curves and stuff because mine was it was coiled up when I got it brand new, but I guess
my mouse is in my mouse is in headsets. I never needed to replace.
Okay.
I just replaced them because I want my stuff to.
Yeah, of course. You
because
want
I had
stuff too.
I had a Mad Catz Rat 7. I have a Rat 7 mouse. Still works fine. No problem with it. But I want the Corsair mouse.
Yeah. All right.
Don't forget that one.
Yeah. Okay, so next after that we stopped by Hisense or Hisense. It's Hisense. Hisense sounds stupid. Hisense is a TV phone electronic manufacturer, and we stopped by there because you saw the tournament that they have. Like they're having like a Toyota tournament or something, some racing tournament with kit
Oh yeah,
cars.
there was a racing tournament.
Yeah, and whoever won.
So it was like.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to explain those tournaments.
It was basically whoever won.
There's 4 sets of games.
Yeah, it was pretty much on the wall. It's like people face off and then they face off other stuff.
So it starts with 8 people.
Uh-huh.
Like if you can pretty much guess what I'm talking about. And it shows 8 people down here, and then
whoever wins
4
get to
people.
face the next.
Whoever
people.
wins in the 2 set in each set.
It's a standard
goes
tournament.
Up 2. So there's 4 people
Standard
here.
tournament
2
progression.
and then the last one fight.
So we saw that the winner of the tournament got a 55-inch Ultra HD HDR TV, and you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, that's pretty awesome." But we took a look at their TVs.
Their TVs weren't as great.
They were not impressive at all.
But they gave you a 55-inch LED screen, which was a regular 1080p regular.
I guess
it was not worth trying to do the tournament, and the tournament lasted 2 hours. I think it was just standard 1080p, so it was not worth it.
And not to mention, they had a supposedly 8K TV there, and it did not look 8K at all. It looked really grainy and just, I don't know, but it's Hisense, I guess. To be honest, I never heard of this brand until we went. But
now looking at these cases,
and I don't think they sell this in the U.S. The Hisense brands.
Have you noticed these cases? Their power buttons are mid.
Yeah, the power buttons are humongous on those cases by Gamma Titan.
And they're in the middle. I don't like it on the middle. I like it on the top.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Ants VR. This is a separate VR headset. But what's interesting about this VR headset that kind of separates itself from the crowd, except PlayStation's, is this actually tracks body movements by you can actually move around in the environment. Now, we couldn't test this out. They just were showing a demonstration around the area. But the guy had
built-in infrared camera.
Yeah, basically the guy had the VR headset on, and he was walking around, the display area, and he was walking around the game. So it actually tracks your body movement with that in VR. But to be honest, there wasn't really. I think they're still setting it up because they didn't even let anyone test it out. And I wanted to, but unfortunately I couldn't. So there was that. That's in terms of all the catalogs. That's all we got. This is a big show directory that I also picked up, which is kind of cool. It has everything. Now we stopped by 4 major big brand companies. We stopped by LG first. All right.
LG, we looked at a bunch of their
LG had an amazing. Oh, wait, there's actually 5 to be honest. No, 6. Okay. Yeah, I'm just starting to remember them now. But let's talk about LG. All right. We stepped in there.
Did they have that glass one?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. Well, first of all, we're gonna talk about the appliances. All right. Pretty cool. I have this on video. I have a whole tour of really LG's
Home
show
electronics.
floor. Yeah, their area. So really cool thing about their refrigerator is they had a glass door that was touch
Actually, I have a
sensitive.
picture of that.
You got a picture? It's also on the playlist section, the CES 2015 playlist. You can see the unlisted video there. We're walking around. Basically, the woman who was showing it to us, she went up to the glass door and all she did was tap on it like twice, and it went from opaque to completely what do you call it when it's not opaque? What's the opposite of opaque?
Opaque?
When it's like see-through. Transparent, that's what I'm saying. It went from opaque to transparent. I had a brain fart there. And it was pretty cool because it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
do we have
all
this
you
in
do
the
is-
fridge? You don't have to open the fridge. You just taps the
You don't have
glass.
to let all the cool air out.
Yeah, you just taps
But
the glass.
It's not a big deal.
It's not. It's really not, but it's a cool gimmick, and it's
It's cool that it's glass,
yeah,
but
it's a show off.
it's
thing.
not
That's
really
all.
worth buying another.
Yeah, in fact, I like
For-
Samsung's version better, which we're gonna talk about there.
Samsung's is a little bit better.
Samsung's.
It's still one of those things that's not really worth
Yeah.
it, but
But let's hold off until we actually talk about Samsung stuff. LG's appliances, people know them. They LG makes a lot of stuff. They pretty much make it. They make pretty much everything almost. Appliances, electronics, and phones and things like that. So they had that glass thing, the glass door fridge, which is pretty cool. They also had their washers and dryers there, which we kind of went by. Which was really impressive though is they were actually showing off two types of TVs. There was OLED, which they're famous for really starting. LG was the first company I believe that brought OLED to the forefront in terms of marketing. And they also had HDR. They actually are dipping their toes into HDR. Now there's two different types of things, all right? There's OLED and then there's HDR panel qualities. Now OLED is interesting because it basically takes what's on your cell phone, the type of panel, and basically for blacks and contrast ratios, anything that's black, it effectively turns off the pixel. So you get the deepest, richest black because there's no light powering the black color at all. It's just what typically LED panels do is they'll dim the pixel as much as possible to show a black surface, but there's still light coming from the pixel. So OLED turns off the pixel entirely, and what you get is the most deepest natural blacks. HDR is something different. HDR has more nits of brightness, and what's really interesting about it is that it allows for richer, more detailed colors, and everything like that. So that's for Samsung's though.
oh yeah.
So we'll
dang it.
show them when we talk about when we get to Samsung, we'll show them.
Wait,
but-
I got LG stuff here too.
It was pretty cool. They showed us a demonstration. There's a video of us walking around. That is
The
that's
HDR.
is that LG? Is it LG?
These are LG.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it's just a picture, really. I mean, you have to be there to actually see it, but you can see that the brightness from the the HDR version is just much better. The overall richness of the colors and scenes, and that's what HDR does. It basically just brings it to life. So it's not a preference, but what I hear, the general consensus for most movie producers, people in the film industry in Hollywood, is that they like HDR's format a lot better than OLED. Is that they say HDR brings more life and depth to the scene than OLED does. So while personally I love the deep blacks that OLED brings and that contrast ratio, and that's important to me. HDR is just supposedly going to be the next step. Apparently, to new movie producers and people in Hollywood, they're more excited about that technology than versus OLED. Now, both of these technologies are still extremely expensive. OLED, I believe a 1080p OLED TV from LG around 50 inches still costs you $2,500. If you want the nice ones, the 4K that are 80 inches and large, they're going to be upwards of $6,000 to $7,000, maybe $8,000. So it's incredibly expensive OLED at the moment because it's new technology. When it does start to get cheaper, and when we start getting TVs in the market that are really high quality HDR televisions, then I think we're really gonna see, okay, what is the consumer gonna get? Is the consumer gonna go for OLED or is they gonna go for HDR? So you really have to be there to see the difference. It's a preference thing. So I personally, I think both look amazing, and I really like the brightness and just the color enhancements that HDR brings. HDR, by the way, stands for High Dynamic Range. It's a type of lighting effect, and a lot of video games use it during development and stuff. It allows for more cinematic, more light into the scene and things like that, and global illumination and whatnot. It's really going to depend on what you really prefer when seeing it. But it was pretty exciting. It looked really good. After that, we actually checked out the monitors. They revealed 2 upgraded models from their already existing monitors on the market. All right, there's the LG UC98, which was a 3440 by 1440, 21 by 9 curved monitor with AMD FreeSync and everything like that. It's pretty much like the 34 UC97, except the base, the stand actually is a different design. It's more of a curved like C type. So they have that, and then they also have the I forgot. I think it's called Infinity something, which has really thin bezels, 2.5 millimeters thick of bezels, and it looks really super thin. They're flat panels, but they're 1080p at 24 inches, and I want to say they're TN. It says it's sRGB 99%, color calibrated, but the colors to me didn't blow me away, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a TN panel, not even IPS. They also have the LG UC68, which is an upgrade from the UC67, which is a flat panel of the curved one without AMD FreeSync, still at a ultra-wide QHD resolution.
This is going to be expensive.
So, just 2 monitors there. They also have like an iFinity surround setup. Yeah, an iFinity surround setup there. Playing the reboot of Unreal Tournament that's currently in beta, which is pretty cool. And they're just showing the ideal gaming setup. You have 3 ultra-wide curved monitors, on your desk, and on the top there you have like a 32-inch Ultra HD 4K TV. Which was pretty cool. So they just showed that setup there. They also moved on to their phones. Basically nothing new. You have the G4 that's been out. You have the was it the K7 or K10? LG. I don't think it was the K. I don't know if the K7, K10 were LG's brand, but we looked at the V10.
It was K7.
Was it K7? Okay.
Wait, for the phone?
For LG's phones. It
was a different region type of phone.
So
it's supposed to be the LG's V4 or something. The one you have, but the K7 was the phone that you have, but for foreign regions.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's everything pretty much there. So they had the K series, they had the G series, they had the V10 they're showing off, and they also had the Nexus 5X. All those phones have been out and they're on the market. The newest one being the Nexus 5X, and the one before that the V10. So really, there's nothing new there that they are showing. It's not
well, I'm tempted to buy the V10.
I know, but the V10's been out for 2 months now, so everyone knows about it. And the Nexus 5X has been out for 2 months, so everyone knows about that. But they didn't show off They didn't show off the G5, and we actually got a video demonstration showing the video editing stuff that's on the V10. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, so. It was great. I liked LG's booth a lot. They had lots of stuff. Oh, we also saw an 8K TV, which actually looked really good.
You could not see the pixels.
Yeah, well,
and it was like
it's hard to see. It's hard to see any pixels on a 4K TV, but that 8K,
the 8K wasn't like super big or like 2 screens together. It was literally one screen that was a decent sized TV.
98 inches is more than decent.
No, there was another one that was like in the 50s.
Oh really? Okay.
That was 8K.
I only saw the big one that was on the wall.
And like you try to look up close to it, you could barely see the pixels.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just so much detail. Obviously, 8K is just because we can right now. It's not coming to market
why not?
anytime soon. 4K TVs aren't even being fully taken advantage of yet, so it's just because we can. But it was really cool to see, all those pixels being driven by, all the video and stuff like that. It was pretty awesome, pretty impressive. So 8K looks amazing, but obviously it's not even a thing to consider on the market yet. After that, we moved on to Intel's booth. and which was pretty cool. We spent a lot of time at Intel. They had a computer set up.
Oh.
They had an ultra-wide monitor set up playing Battlefront. After that, they had some 4K panels set up. One was for Dying Light with the Steam.
I actually have a picture.
They had the...
if you guys know her...
Oh, yeah, that was at the...
what's her name? Catherine...
Christine Chi.
Oh, Christine Chi.
I think.
Yeah, Christine Chi. I just know her by the name of what she goes by, which is she's from CLG. Yeah. CLG Potter. CLG Potter is her name.
Yes, they had a Counter-Strike Go tournament.
Yeah.
Little face-off thing there set up with many different Intel built PCs.
It wasn't like it was team deathmatch.
Yeah,
pretty
it
much.
was pretty much.
It wasn't like the original
playing.
hostages or bomb.
Basically,
thing.
it was like
respawning
it was basically a
kills.
sit down and play type of thing. They had 4 computers set up, and pretty cool. With the specs there, really high quality specs. I believe we saw the computer there had 2 Titan X's running this thing. It was a 4.
I saw parts I won for my mortar.
It was running
system.
the Acer Predator, the first one, the flat panel that was G-Sync. So it was running that, which was pretty cool.
That
is
what we saw, and that's the water cooling system I really want to put in.
Cool. So
it's like clear, and you can see all the coolant in there.
So we saw that the games that they had set up. We actually got to I got to play with the Steam controller for the first time.
Brother, that's what I'm looking at right now. Their company's blocks.
I got to play with the Steam controller for the first time, and it was interesting because I was originally going to get the Steam controller just to do a video on it and give my impressions. That thing is hard to play games on, and it's...
I don't like it.
I just... It's weird because I'm holding the controller, right, and your thumb is automatically... You think to yourself, okay, it's just a trackpad, right? But your thumb is automatically raised thinking there's an analog stick there if you're used to a controller. So it's like you have to really get used to it, and then the movement isn't as accurate or as fast as you really want it to be. And we were playing Dying Light with it on a Steam box.
It kept disconnected.
Yeah, it was unresponsive. The controller felt weird and kind of cheap, and the trackpad was just... I mean, it was a bit infuriating and confusing. It was like okay, I want to go up, but it was weird. It's
literally a circle pad, and it's really weird to play.
They've been on the market since November, so you can go buy one if you want. It's nothing crazy, but it was just really odd. I don't know what.
I think it takes a lot of time to get used to.
Yeah, I just don't know what the genius was, but I don't know what what Valve was necessarily saying, this is gonna why. I just don't understand
why. You don't
why.
need an analog stick anymore.
I just don't understand why, really. That was my only thing. And playing Dying Light on it, I felt it was more frustrating than helpful. So Steam controller was we did test out. You're playing Just Cause 3. They just had it there set up in 4K, and it looked really good. And also had a really nice MSI laptop set up. That was really
I think it's a lot easier to play Just Cause 3 on the laptop. Than the console.
I just use it. They had the Xbox One Elite
controller. They had the Xbox One Elite controller.
Which has been sold out for a while. I'm sure I don't know if they're back in stock. I think they are, but we got to actually hold it, and it's heavier. It's heavy. It's a heavy controller.
Did it have the tabs that it showed on the actual advertisement on the back? The switches were there and everything, but they didn't have the tabs where you just hit the tabs to activate those.
I don't
buttons.
think they
removed them.
They took them off because everything on the controller is you can take things off and put them back on. It was a heavy controller.
It had grip. It has grip on the handles.
Yeah. Actually, the GameStop controller, the Xbox One Lunar White controller I got, also has grips on the handles, and that's a really nice controller that I personally love. It's the best Xbox One controller ever I think you can get on the market currently. So, but we did test that out. It was pretty nice. And just went by. Intel also had one of their car things where that was shock mounting and things like that. So that was cool. Talk about the paintball thing we saw.
Oh, they had a paintball mask that was it had
a heads-up display. It was like an augmented reality thing. It was
they're really going with, I think it's, what was it? Oh, it is. Okay, that was a different one. So it was Empire they're going with. they accompanied with Empire. That's the helmet. I believe I got an inside look at the helmet.
I don't know if it would pick up the camera.
Oh, I didn't.
No.
Wait, maybe.
Anyway,
Snapu Chateau.
it basically showed a map of where you are and where you're facing. It was very accurate too. Like I turned around and it showed me turning around. It showed me facing the other direction. It was basically like you're using navigation. And it's such a big tactical advantage and stuff. Especially if you're playing paintball, which I've never been paintballing. I don't care, but you're really into it. And that's
the one thing I was interested about was using the. By the way, in the in-HUD display, it connects with the GoPro. And it's like in the bottom. It's on the bottom right, and you can see there. It shows a GPS like kind of thing. Like you could see a map
where you are.
of the place, and it's supposed to. If anybody else has the same headset, it's supposed to be able to show them too.
So you'll know
if you're on a team, like you're able to connect with your team. With that,
they also
has a watch.
Yeah, the smartwatch.
I have the watch on here.
The smartwatch you can use to zoom in on the map and change the design and things.
This
like
is
that.
the watch.
So it was actually it's pretty cool.
It's up and down, left, right, and then the centers to go to the main menu.
That was interesting because that's something that I wasn't expecting.
Select.
That's something that I wasn't expecting, and it actually was pretty cool. Like I put the thing on, it was comfortable. The map was.
The middle is select. The
map wasn't. Yeah, the map wasn't intrusive at all. It was always on like the lower right hand corner. You just had to look down to actually see.
It's just a little camera.
Yeah, it wasn't in the way at all, and it was actually pretty cool. So they had that.
And they had a really expensive paintball gun there too.
They had a lot of cool stuff.
That was like that's a $1,700 paintball gun.
And that's pretty much what we saw.
Hold it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we saw at the Intel booth. We also saw the Fallout 4 PC case, the custom PC case, which is actually pretty cool. There's all video. There's a video of me walking around a bit. We're checking out things and stuff like that. So you can check that out in the playlist if you want. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And after that, we went over to Samsung. We can talk about Samsung now. Samsung had a nice booth. Their refrigerators are a little bit more useful than LG's, basically glass.
I mean, it's not. It's still the same thing.
Well, actually, one feature I found that was really enticing was that it had like a screen, right, and it was a mirror too. It acted as a mirror, or as a window, excuse me. But it actually detailed you the expiration date of the food that was in there. And so if you had leftovers, or if you cook something, and you put it in the refrigerator, it would be like, okay, you have 3 days before this goes bad. And it will tell you what food you need to throw out, what the expiration date of your food is. And this is pretty awesome. These illuminating, these illuminating knobs really for turning on the stove. So, and those are pretty cool. Typically, the stoves don't really have this, just the screen in the center. But these things actually have illuminating knobs, so it has a circle. This looks really fancy and really nice. So stuff like that. We also checked out their the Note 5, which isn't anything relatively new. Again, this is all technology that we knew. We checked out their Samsung Galaxy Pro tablet. I forgot what it's called, the Galaxy S tablet.
Oh, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
It's
all right?
still on
It's a Windows. It's
pretty cool. I like it.
It's a Windows 10 tablet that attaches to a PC. Or attaches to a keyboard, excuse me, that turns it into a PC, more or less. And the specs are pretty impressive, though I think the one that we tested out had a 15-inch 1440p display, and it was running 4 gigs of RAM and an Intel processor. Those things are going to be expensive. If you look at the Microsoft Surface, that thing's already mega expensive. So it's going to be expensive, but it's still really cool.
Like the Windows Surface, though.
Of course, the Windows Surface is
really nice.
In terms of a tablet design, if you want something that has the power of a laptop but the form of a tablet,
it's
the Surface. I mean,
there's somebody that I know that has it, and she draws a lot, and it really that. It's really nice. I like the drawing application she has on it.
So the tablet that I have is the Asus TF700T tablet, and it's it's the worst. It's out of in my whole life, it was the worst purchase I
have
ever
a
made.
Lenovo one that was worth $200.
Mine was a $500 tablet that barely does anything. It doesn't even do web browsing.
Anything that's less than $700 does not work very well.
No, but the thing is, it doesn't even browse the web. It will crash. Google Chrome will crash when you're doing nothing. And it's the most infuriating, frustrating thing. And I can't believe I feel so awful. Like I feel destroyed inside. There's a part of me that was lost that day that I'll never get back because I bought that tablet, and I'll never ever 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 buy another Asus tablet again. Asus makes amazing PC parts. They make amazing
just like their
peripherals. Yeah, but they don't ever.
They make cases, maybe.
Yeah, well, just don't ever buy an Asus tablet.
If they do.
It sucks. It really sucks.
Same
Regardless, though, I do really want a Windows 10, thing like that, a tablet that you can attach to a keyboard. It would really be useful to install stuff like, a video editing software on there, so that in instances like this, I could take it and I can do, uploading videos for you guys, and I could have it be compact like in a tablet. So it was pretty cool. Now we also saw Samsung's new HDR. I guess they're they are HDR televisions, but they're kind of promoting something called quantum dots. I didn't really know what quantum dot is. I'm thinking to myself it's more pixels per inch, but I'm not exactly sure. So they're showing off their and there's a whole video in the playlist showing off the presentation of those TVs. And it was pretty freaking awesome. It was like quantum dot. The TVs were, rising and, going down and forming into one display. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it looked really, really good. And just the video they had there with the music was amazing. It was an amazing demo, right?
That thing's a 24-hour sign-in thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it literally just popped up at the same time I did it yesterday.
So, it's pretty awesome, and I'm really looking forward to Samsung makes great TVs. We all know that they make great products regardless. I've always been vocal and against their phones because I just don't like how Samsung does the copy and paste thing every single time. And I've explained this many single times. It's like if someone has to ask you what phone you have, is that the S5 or the S6, then you obviously didn't innovate enough to differentiate your products from the previous entry. And that's my biggest problem with Samsung. They make great phones, they make great products, but I just don't like the copy and paste design, and that's what's kept me from going back to Samsung in the first place, and most of these companies, because they like to do the same exact single freaking thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, which is it's something that many people adopt. I personally think it defies innovation, but hey, that's just me. Regardless, they had a lot set up. They also had a thing set up with their Samsung Gear VR, which we weren't able to see because there was a line. And so it basically was like it was basically like a ride. You sat down in a ride and they're going through like space, like some cool space tour. And it was pretty freaking awesome, just seeing the people, reacting there, and everyone's pretty excited. And there was a good line there, and that was pretty cool. We also went by Panasonic's booth. And the only thing there that I really, really enjoyed, I was expecting to see like, TVs and stuff, and they did have it there, but we were running short on time, so I was kind of trying to skim through stuff. But the main thing there that I was actually pretty excited to see was they had the new Acura NSX on display there. That's the new supercar that Acura is bringing back, the classic NSX. They're bringing it back into the modern day. Love the design. It's my second dream car there, and I took a video of it. People were inside.
I couldn't get a picture. That's when my phone broke down.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous car. They had it in black, unfortunately. I wish it was in silver or red, but amazing.
I would have taken a picture.
Gorgeous car there, and that was the main highlight. What I saw. They also had the new Lincoln MKZ. I guess Panasonic's technology is somehow integrated within those cars, which is why it was on display in the first place. And they're also showing off a new GoPro competitor camera that basically has stabilization and works a lot better, and it's attached to what is it attached to? Remember the guy with the camera?
I forgot which company that was.
It's Panasonic, but
it's Panasonic.
But what
it's
was
a
it attached
headband.
to? Oh, it's a headband.
It's a headband that just clips on.
Okay, so it's just a headband.
And so it's the same thing like a GoPro.
Except it's in a smaller. It's smaller. It's a smaller one.
It's literally like a mini flashlight. It's like this.
That's pretty cool.
Just on your side.
That's awesome. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty much all they had there. I was expecting to see more. I knew that all these companies like Samsung and Panasonic revealed their Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray players, which are pretty exciting, and they're coming to market very, very, very soon. So finally, there's some good use to get out of our 4K TVs when 4K movies start being made. Please stop. So it's pretty cool. We also went by TCL, which is a company that's not even here. They don't sell stuff here at all. But they did have phones on display. They did have these cool TVs that were like curved, right? It was a 12K
Wait,
TVs.
This phone? Here, wait, real quick.
They had three 4K Ultra HD TVs put together. They were curved,
This
but
phone?
they also had
Is that where we saw that phone?
Yes, I believe that's a TCL, but it's fine.
This is a U10.
Oh no, that's not it. I think that was the Chinese company.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't
TCL was the one with the DJ. They had like a DJ set up. And
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember.
And so they had three 4K
There was
Ultra
another
HD
company.
TVs set up, and they had video that was actually feeding and actually acting as if it was like an iFinity surround setup, and so you got to see a full 12K actual program being demonstrated right in front of your eyes, and you got to see like I told Jake, like, imagine gaming on that thing, you'd see every freaking thing, and especially at 4K with the pixel density, it was amazing.
4 screens, just literally.
Three. It was three 4K screens, so 12K. 12K, and it looked really well. They claimed it was 12K. Yeah, it is 12K because, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was the thing that they had set up there, and it looked absolutely gorgeous, and was really really cool.
There was
just
a
the
phone
pixels
at a different company.
Yeah, they had.
It literally looked like. Sorry for going off topic, but literally looked like an Android that had sex with an iPhone.
That was it. It was like an Android iPhone.
Literally, like it was a iPhone. It looked like an iPhone at first. I was like, oh, is this the iPhone? And you look at the side, it literally looks like an Android phone. It has an Android UI operating system too, and it looks like the iPhone, and it has an iPhone port as well. And literally, like, the buttons on the side were iPhone, like how you would see the new iPhone 6S.
There's a lot of Chinese mock-offs.
I was like, what the hell is this?
There's a lot of Chinese.
Who made this horrible thing?
There's a lot of Chinese knockoffs there. So you have to keep in mind, like, hey, if you're gonna try and sell something, copy something someone else has done. Try to make it better, I guess.
Yeah.
But so yeah, TCL is pretty cool. They're not a brand that we have here in the U.S. So for us, it was like
that thing looked.
But so for us, it's like completely pointless. But they had a cool setup. They had a DJ set up. They had all these TVs. The 12K surround setup was amazing, and it looked really really good. So, last thing we checked out was Sony's, and we spent our last time there.
Oh yeah, they had a Street Fighter V set up there,
which I had the beta for,
Clank.
which unfortunately I haven't been able to play because of the network issues. But
Ratchet and Clank.
New Ratchet and Clank demo was there.
I tried that out more than the Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Actually, we tried to get video of the Street Fighter, but
there
was only 1v1, and you can't really
record as I'm playing him.
Yeah. We tried our best.
They also had their new HDR TVs there.
There was another game there though.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that game.
The game was pretty cool. It was like a forgot
some demon monster.
forgot what it's called. 2D version game.
Yeah. So they also had their HDR TVs set up there, which they first unveiled. This one had 4,000 nits of brightness.
Oh, yeah.
4,000 nits of brightness. Our monitors have like 300, 350 nits. A good TV has around 600-700 nits. Samsung's HDR TVs had 1,000 nits. 4,000 nits of brightness. The ability to display these many brightness levels. That's how I feel. Like the ability to display this many brightness levels are just, it's amazing, and it looked really really good. And that was an HDR TV. Keep that in mind. So, looked really nice. I also got to test out.
Talk about that.
No, I did talk about that. You were just messing on your phone while I was talking about that. I already talked about Samsung.
Even this?
Yeah. Yeah. So I tested
Even
out
this.
Stop. So I tested out their Xperia Z5 phones. They had the Z5, the compact Z5, as well as the premium, which is something that I was more interested in because it's the premium. The Z5 Premium is the first ever smartphone that has a 4K display. Now, when you're running the phone just normally, like if you're in your apps or you're web browsing, or if you're in the home screen, it's 1080p. It only switches to 4K when you're watching 4K video, and that's it. When you're watching YouTube, it says it will upscale it to 4K, and they did have one video on there that was 4K, and I did watch it, and it looked good. Don't get me wrong, it did look good, but it's like I'm using this 4K phone, and basically the reason that you want the phone, which is for the 4K display, you're going to use it 1 out of 100 times that you're actually using the phone. it's it's kind of a little bit pointless. But the design of the phone was really nice, and it was really nice to hold, and I liked the phone.
Which phone?
The Z5 Premium.
Oh.
So, which they don't sell here in the U.S., by the way, because it's a GSM phone, and if you're on Verizon or Sprint, you are stuck with CDMA technology bullshit. So, but people who are on AT&T or T-Mobile, you can get that phone, have it imported, and it would work fine. They also had the PlayStation Now thing set up, but that's been available in the U.S. for a while. I understand that people...
Oh my god, that thing's amazing.
No, I understand that people in Europe, don't have it yet. I understand that, but we've had it in the U.S. for like a year, over a year now, and I don't use it. I used it once. I actually used it once because I was craving.
If you don't have the money for games.
No, but I was craving.
And you want to play some games, it's
old games.
It's worth it. It's $100 a year.
$100 a year. You get access to PS1, PS2, and PS3
and there's different
classics.
payments, but the $100 a year, it's worth it.
So keep in mind,
it would be worth it. It's less than $10.
So I never actually used PlayStation Now on my PS4, but I do have PlayStation Now on my Vita. I got the beta, and I actually decided to test it out one time.
$12.
I actually decided to test it out one time. And I found that
Goddamn.
I actually played. I was playing Uncharted 2 multiplayer on my Vita, I was playing it, and like on the Vita, it looked good because it was on a small screen. Obviously it was streaming 480p, to a stream that's not even HD. A screen that's not even HD. But the controls were decently responsive, and I actually could play Uncharted 2 multiplayer on there, and it was pretty freaking cool, and it worked. It worked decently. So I never used PlayStation Now except for the beta a few times, and it works as a service, but it's not something that I find worth investing in. The PlayStation Now beta.
Oh.
Back before it was released.
I thought you meant like a game.
No. But it works if you skipped out, if you have only the PS4 and you want to play some of these PS2 or PS1 classics. Sure, just stream the game. But I still, as pretty much everyone, I still prefer native content, directly to the disc, just for the higher quality. But it works as a decent streaming service.
There, but.
Yes. So the most exciting thing was that I actually got to test out the PlayStation VR, which was previously the Project Morpheus, that they renamed to PSVR. Now, when you buy this thing, you have to get a set-top box. All right, it's like a little mini PS4. It's just a block, really, and that's what
mini PS4.
That's what it looks like. It looks like there's video of me, seeing it. It looks like a mini PS4. It's like the same design.
They didn't show it.
Little block.
You had to demo it to see it.
No, it was in the glass case. It was actually on display. It was all the people there that were crowded, but it was actually in a glass
I didn't
place.
See it.
And so you need the PSVR, you need the set-top box to have it work, you need the PlayStation camera to have it track your movement, and you need PlayStation Move controllers for certain games. All right, I had the opportunity to test out a game called The London Heist. And this was an interesting game because it was an action motion game where you use the PlayStation VR, and you actually use the PlayStation Move controllers to do your gunplay as well as pick up things and things like that. After playing that 6-minute demo, I am completely sold on the PlayStation VR, and in fact, I was more impressed with the PlayStation VR playing that than
the Oculus Rift. He's never touched.
No, that's not true. I did. We used Oculus. Not by itself.
In real gameplay.
Not exactly. I have yet to test out the Oculus Rift using real gameplay, meaning a controller, how it should be. But I have tested out the Oculus Rift in various other different conditions. But I was more impressed playing the PlayStation VR than I was doing the Omni thing with me running on the trackpad, than me doing the NASA demo and things like that. I was more impressed with it, and here's why. The PlayStation VR tracks your movement, and it really made me feel like I was in the actual game. Like I saw myself. He's like, stand up. I got up. It was perfect. It was accurate. It was beautiful, and I grabbed the phone, and I actually had to put the phone up to my ear. I'm using the PlayStation phone, PlayStation Move controller. I put the Move up to my ear, and I had headphones on, and it's like you could hear the sound just coming through this, like talking on the phone, and which is it's pretty awesome because and basically it just flashes to a flashback. This whole story was that apparently you were pulling a heist, something went wrong, the guy was mad at you, the guy handed me the phone, it was someone else talking, he said, so tell me exactly what happened, and it went to a flashback. And so I'm in the middle of this, office of this compound. I'm not supposed to be somewhere. I'm looking for something, right? I'm supposed to steal something. And I'm like, okay.
You recorded the whole.
You record. There's a whole demo in the playlist if you want to check it out. The whole demo that Jake was able to record. The guys, and I'm able to I had the reach. Keep that in mind. It was so almost realistic. I was able to not only.
He had to get up and actually crouch down.
Yeah, I was able to move around in the environment, and there was no peripherals attached to me. It was just me using the PlayStation VR, and I was able to move around. I have something stuck in my eye, which is great. I was able to move around in the environment just as I normally would in the game. And I turned around and there was a fully, rendered, everything, a bookshelf and all that crap. And all of a sudden a security guard was about to come in, and the guy on the intercom was like, "Get down behind the desk." So I crouched down behind the desk, and it's accurately, portraying me crouching down behind the desk. And the guy comes in, he sees me through the crack of the desk. He starts opening fire, and I had to, shoot him back. And it was amazing. Just the technology. After that 6-minute demo, I'm completely sold on the PlayStation VR. In terms of all the stuff that I tested out with the Oculus Rift, the Omni stuff with the trackpad and the shoes, and you actually having to run and use the gun, the NASA thing.
You mean run and gun?
Yeah. Well, no. I have yet to test out the Oculus Rift playing with the controller just with VR. I want to do that tomorrow, but I am more impressed with the PlayStation VR than I am with any other VR headset. It's amazing. And even people in front of me, the guy in front of me was saying to the guy, "I'm not even a gamer, and this was the most amazing thing I've seen at the show thus far." So people love it. I absolutely loved it. It was a great demo, and really enjoyed it, and it was so accurate. The only problem that I have with the PSVR so far is that the screen sometimes I should say sometimes the screen itself is a little bit blurry, and I don't know if that's just because it wasn't calibrated correctly or something like that, but it's not as sharp as watching on a TV. And there are things that Jacob told me. He's like, I saw you found the key. I knew where you were supposed to put the key. And I was like, I couldn't see it because everything had a kind of a blurry effect almost.
I feel like you have to adjust it to your own.
Yeah, I hope there is. I'm sure there is an autofocus adjuster there for your eyes.
Because on the other things
that would make sense.
This. Wait, no, where is it?
What is it?
The thing we tried, the
Omni.
Omni.
Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't adjusted to eye setting.
No.
There's some things that adjust to eye setting.
But I still felt like the Oculus displayed a sharper image for me personally, than the PSVR. It was just a little bit blurry. I don't know. It would make sense that they would have a knob or something that you would turn and it would do focusing effects and things like that. So my eyesight isn't that good, so I can focus it in so it's closer. I imagine somehow that's in there hopefully. But so far my only problem with the PSVR was that it's just the screen was a little bit blurry, although good quality. It is an OLED TV. It is a 120 hertz display, and on top of that, the motion controls with the PS Move. Keep in mind this was at CES, so it may have been some interference with the signal. But the PS Move controller, it wasn't accurately being still or displaying. You can see on the footage, my hand was doing this, and it wasn't because I was doing this with my hands. It was the hand was just shaking for no reason in the game. And that prevented me from getting pinpoint accurate shots when I was shooting guys. So if they can work out things, the PSVR is the most amazing VR headset I've tested out thus far. It's fantastic, and that 6-minute demo completely sold me out. I'm a day one buyer for it after that. I was initially annoyed. No, I was initially annoyed that it came with a set-top box. I was like, okay, that's going to be annoying, having to deal with the set-top box. But I understand now. And after playing with it, I think moving my shelf a little bit so I can have this display set-top box is more than enough for me to, give up to get this really immersive experience. The fact that you can actually crouch down in real life and he crouches down the desk and it displays it accurately is fantastic. The London Heist looks like it's going to be a great game for it, and I'm looking forward to it. And so, absolutely love the PlayStation VR. And that was that was pretty much my opinions on it. It was just really, really, really good, and it was a great way. That was the last thing that we saw after we were done with the PlayStation VR. That was the end. The conference closed, or the the CES thing was closed for today. So it was a great way just to end today. I was like so excited. But anyway, those are my opinions on day 2. Tomorrow we're going to go back to Tech East. We're not even going to make it to Tech West and Tech South, unfortunately. We just don't have time. But Tech East is apparently where it's at.
You mean north?
North Hall is where we're going to be going tomorrow. So
Wait, are we going to we're going to East and Central again?
No. Tech East. There's 3 different types of CES. There's Tech East, there's Tech West, and then there's Tech South.
Oh, you're talking about okay. You mean those different areas.
Each tech area has different technology, basically. Tech South is like business related stuff. The only people I know who are at Tech South is Google. That's it. But Tech West is like home appliances, smart homes, and things like that. I do want to try it out, but we just don't have time. I don't even know if they're going to be there. But Tech East has all like the gaming and the cool electronic stuff and TVs and things like that.
Yeah, I think this one's better. And from what I'm hearing about the other ones, like the guy yesterday when I saw the movie,
Talk about cars. Like, who wants cars?
I think it was called National Lampoon's Vacation. I think that's what the movie was. I'm not sure. Anyways, he was telling me that there's not really much happening in the other two.
The only people I want to see that are
like this is the big one.
The only people that I want to see at Tech West are like Corsair's there, and then there's a few other PC companies that are there. But I don't think we still haven't.
We just saw Gigabyte and it didn't look like they had much to show. That's what I'm kind of worried about.
Yeah, but to be honest with everyone, I mean, we still have there's 3 halls set up at just Tech East alone. There's North Hall, South Hall, and Central Hall, and our 5 hours of being at the show were completely devoted to one entire hall, and we didn't even see everything at the hall. So,
yeah, it's kind of hard to do everything in 5 days.
It's a little bit hard. So I think next time, next time we go, we'll go a little bit earlier. We'll stay a little bit longer and things like that. But for our initial thing, it was really fun. And
we've been getting there kind of late.
Yeah, we've been getting there kind of late.
Like 11 or 12, and it starts at 9.
We want to sleep in. So... All right, guys, that was it for day 2.
We like to have breakfast, unlike other people.
Actually, breakfast is good for you. So I don't even have breakfast at home. So
to Denny's.
No. So all right, guys, that's our day 2 impressions. All right, hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow with our last day, our day 3 impressions, and then at the very end, a complete review of CES and what we thought about the show and things like that.
So let's be honest, everybody. When you don't want to spend too much money, but you want breakfast. To Denny's.
So all right, guys.
Or IHOP.
Thank you.
Either one works.
I'd rather go to IHOP than Denny's, but thank you guys for watching so much. I'll see you guys later for our day 3 impressions as well as our overall review of CES. Have a good one.